Welcome back everyone to another LEGO Star Wars video, and today we have another episode of my Q&A series I do here on my channel. This is going to be episode number 123, and now that I want to do daily videos in 2024, I definitely have to bring this series back. So if your question is not answered in today's video, be sure to leave it down below in the comments for next week. It can be anything to do with LEGO, anything to do with Star Wars, my personal life, pretty much anything going on in the world. Of course, there's a few restrictions, but for the most part, feel free to ask anything, and there's a chance I will answer it next week. So let's start off here. We have Dark363. They say, ask LBS, do you own any misprints, and if so, what is your favorite? So I have been collecting misprints since about 2017, back when, if anything, they were less cool and it actually devalued the minifigures. I remember there was a time, 6-7 years ago, if you got a misprint minifigure, it pretty much went for less than what the actual figure was worth. A clone trooper that was worth $15, it was going to go for $7 or $8 due to the misprint. So I was able to get in pretty early back then, start collecting, because I just thought they were just cool. And then of course over recent years they've been getting more and more rare, more and more expensive. People are paying 10x the value of the minifigure. So I do have about 12 of them right now, and I've probably owned about 25 in total. But I have been selling some off and kind of trading them for other ones that I find more interesting, just to kind of keep my collection kind of fresh. And I gotta say, my favorite one right now is probably a 2011 ARC Trooper I got that has a 180 print. Okay, and it's also downshifted. Primarily, it is the most recent one, so I've seen it the less in my collection, or the least in my collection, and also I've never personally seen another person with a 2011 ARC Trooper, 180 print, let alone also shifted. So I do think it's pretty rare. Value is all subjective, but definitely just when it comes to misprint collectors, I've never personally seen another one. So moving on to the next one here, we have Daniel Thompson. They say, ask LBS, I noticed that the new Vision minifigure in the upcoming Avengers Tower set has trans light blue legs with printing. Could this be a sign that we are one step closer to Force Ghost minifigures, seeing as in the past LEGO said this wasn't possible to do at the time? So in my humble opinion, I do think, looking back at 2013 when the last Ewok Village came out, that was pretty much probably the earliest time that any of us really expected Force Ghost minifigures. I think to an extent it might not have been possible at 2013, but in recent years it definitely, I think, has been. Whether it's printing on Translight Blue or doing specific molds in Translight Blue, we've really kind of learned that both of them actually are possible. So the molds in Translight Blue, first off, LEGO has released quite a few parts themselves in that color, but also just due to the Mexico factory these past couple of years, where they've been able to pretty much do anything they can get their hands on in Translight Blue. It just goes to show that it is possible to actually make those parts in Translight Blue. If they're going to do a custom molded, Yoda's head in Translight Blue, more than likely it's possible, okay, if they put that part back in production. But I think also Vision's cape goes to show that if they were to do Force Ghost minifigures that, of course, require, Jedi robes, or, a LEGO cape is how they represent that, that they can do kind of that new plastic material and make it Translight Blue. So I do just want to hop on here and also say there has been some debate over the years, do Force Ghost even need to actually be Translight Blue? Could they do something like Moaning Myrtle from Harry Potter and just make it a shade of blue? There have been a lot of customizers that have gone that route, and in my opinion, I think it looks pretty good, and it may even look better than Translight Blue itself. There are a couple of customizers on Tinjin and also GCC. They're actually coming out with a Translight Blue printed clone trooper. I'll put a picture up on the screen right now. I think by the end of January they'll be out, and I think that honestly gives us kind of like our first-hand look of like, our Translight Blue minifigures with prints on them, do they look right? That's of course going to be more orientated towards like a hologram than a Force Ghost clone. So I think there is a difference there between Force Ghost look and hologram look. But I do want to kind of bring that up. There is some debate. Leave it down below. Do you guys think that we even need Force Ghost in actual Translight Blue? Or do you think a different shade of blue would work and get the point across? I do think we're sooner than ever to getting Force Ghost minifigures. And I got to be honest, I think the next time we get an Ewok Village, which, should be here soon, I would assume. I think, once the Cantina retires next year, or, this year, in 2024, I think it's safe to say that 2025 or 2026 we'll get another MBS set. And I definitely think some sort of Endor set, whether it's a bunker and a village or just one or the other, is definitely on the docket to do. And Force Ghost minifigures, I definitely think are, becoming more and more real. And I think by the end of this decade, I've got a feeling, maybe by the end of 2020s, we could definitely maybe start getting them. So leave your thoughts down below, guys. Why do you think LEGO's not doing them yet? Do you think that we'll get them in the next Ewok Village? And do you think it's possible for them to even do them? Next up here, we have Ketchup Dragon. They say, I really want an ARC-170. Do you think I should buy the one from 2010, or would I be better off waiting? So if we take a look right here, so the one from 2010 in particular is roughly, about $150 if you want a complete one with all the minifigures, and we're talking USA prices because that's where I'm from. So we're looking at about $150 for, a used complete, and about $400 for a sealed one. So it really comes down to how do you want to buy it? And here's kind of my logic for a lot of these sets, because I get these questions a lot, and they're fair questions, wondering, when they should buy something, if they should or should not. So in this example here, the earliest I think we can expect an ARC-170, a new one, and pretty much a lot of our expectations is sometime in 2025 for the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. Will that necessarily be January 2025 or sometime in the spring or sometime in the summer? We don't know that, but bottom line of it, roughly about a year and a half away, we'll start hearing rumors or actually have it on the shelves if it were to happen in 2025. So I think buying a sealed copy, I would not recommend that whatsoever. If you're looking for kind of that sealed premium feel and you're going to build it, I don't think buying, spending $400 on one is worth it right now, because we're so close to the possibility of a new one, just due to the fact a new one would probably be $100 or under. But if you're going to go used, okay, if you're going to go used at about 150, maybe wait for a little deal, get it for 110, 120-ish, I would honestly just do it at that price. Okay, like if you really want an ARC-170, because hear me out for a second. I mean, if that's been on, kind of your wish list for the past couple months, if you, once you actually get that set, once you build it up and you're going to enjoy it and really, you want it in your collection, you want it for a mock, you want it for your army, I would probably just pay that price now, because think about it. If you're waiting for another year and a half just to maybe save, sure, it's going to be a different build, probably more updated, if not even a little bit smaller, which some people don't like. If you're looking for a good size ARC-170, I think 2010 is probably the best size you're ever going to get from official LEGO. But in the next year, if you end up, paying maybe $120 now and the next one's $80, is that $40 worth the enjoyment of having that set for the entire year that you had it beforehand? Do you get what I'm saying there? Do you think you're going to get $40 or $50 of extra enjoyment if you buy the set now and use it for whatever you want to use it for, or put it on your shelf? So that's where I'm kind of getting at with this. I think you have to kind of narrow it down to that. I think buying sealed, not worth it. But if you do want to buy a used one, I would buy it now, man, and just enjoy it. And if one comes out in 2025, quite frankly, you're only going to be out maybe $20-30. And in my humble opinion, with how LEGO's been doing stuff, I think the 2010 one would probably look better than a 2025 one anyway. So there's that. Moving on to Hawk6257. They say, so I've heard rumors of a 327 set, and I'm unsure if they're true or not. So he also brings up how he thinks a 327th clone would have been great in this set. I do agree. I think they should have included a 327th instead of one of the shiny clones. Just further kind of call back to the 07 battle pack. But I do want to cover this 327th thing here, okay? Because I don't think I actually put this on the channel yet. I know I initially made a video saying it was not real, pretty much 99.9%. So over the past 2 months or so, there was a leak for a summer 2024 Z95 Headhunter with 327 clones and Commander Bly. That was, later found out to be 100% fake as well. But then another thing popped up right before this set got revealed of a supposed 327th clone that was either going to be in the Z95 or possibly either this battle pack. So, of course, it did not come out in here. But I do want to show you from the original poster of AKK Bricks. He posted this on his Instagram, and then he deleted his Instagram after. But just to further prove to you guys, okay, since I have not shown this on the channel yet, he made the 327th clone as a fake photo just to make his Instagram account more popular. So definitely kind of backfired on him. Did not work in his favor, and I think that's why he deleted his account after. But yeah, if you guys do not believe me, believe the original faker right there. And I just want to show you guys that. So yeah, just to further reiterate to you guys, no 327th is officially confirmed or rumored at all for 2024 so far. Not to say that it won't happen in summer 2024, but at this point, we know nothing about it. And a couple things we've seen about it in the past couple months, all 100% fake. So next up here, we have Daniel0618. They say, ask LBS, when was a time that you personally thought that the LEGO Star Wars community went too far? So luckily, I don't think, I've been in the LEGO space for about, 11 years publicly. And then I've been watching LEGO YouTube since 2008. And, I don't think there's ever been anything that's really gone crazy far. You know, I think of course there's some bad apples in the community, whether it's people that, you know, scam others or just like really disrespectful, like, you know, with just in private DMs and Discord channels. Like, there's some real weird and mean people in this community, man. But as a public community, I think probably what we have to, I think we're getting better at it. I think there was a point a couple years ago where it was maybe a little bit worse, but I think we all have to understand when it comes to criticizing, you know, LEGO themselves, or criticizing some of these sets, or, you know, complaining and just, you know, some of these minifigures that don't turn out perfect, is we have to draw the line in the sand between just criticizing the product and the execution versus bringing in the actual designers and the people that worked on it. We have to draw a line in the sand there, okay? Because I want to advocate 100% against being disrespectful to any of the actual people that work at LEGO or any of the designers. It's at the end of the day, even if it is their full choice and like there was no higher power controlling them, you know, if say the minifigure designer truly did just make a bad Commander Fox, that's no reason to like inherently be actually mean to the actual designer. You can criticize them, you can say that, hey, look, you know, your design, your execution of this was very poor, okay, but there's no reason to be truthfully disrespectful to the minifigure designer. I think I've learned this a little bit more. You know, I don't think I've ever been actually, you know, necessarily disrespectful to the designers. I've never been a fan of that. I've never advocated for that. I never wanted to be that person. You know, if I've ever come across that way, again, I have nothing but respect for pretty much all the designers, especially people like Jens, you know, Hans that just went over to the Ideas team. They, you know, legacy, you know, designers in the LEGO Star Wars, you know, team. So I think when it comes down to, we just have to kind of draw that line in the sand and keep the designers out of it for the most part. At least, again, being mean directly to them. You can be mean to their product, you can be mean and criticize what they did with the product, but them as people, man, we gotta get those people out of the conversation for the most part. You get what I'm saying? So I think that's where sometimes we take it a little far, and I think going forward, a lot of us are starting to, you know, understand. I'm not seeing it as much anymore. That's a good thing. So that's, I think, pretty much where I want to be at with that answer. I think if there's anything else I missed, I would definitely love to know down below. Was there another time that you thought the community took something too far? Am I missing something? Definitely comment down below. All right, guys, and that is everything for today's Q&A episode. Definitely kind of a shorter one, as you guys probably saw. You know, my last one was almost 2 months ago, so some of the questions, or pretty much all of them, were pretty outdated. So I definitely want to get a fresh slate of questions, and again, I do want to start doing videos every day in 2024, so I will start doing these weekly again, and I will start doing, you know, 10 to 15 questions every week, and hopefully I can get to a lot of them, and at some point of the year, answer most of you guys' questions. So again, feel free to ask anything down below. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys, and stay safe.